As the name implies, this is a show about utter nonsense.
Utterly nonsense.
Wait, this is a show?
Apparently.
Someone allow us to
Wow.
do this?
Synonymous talking. Cue intro. Let's start with some talking points. What's
So-
on our agenda for today, John?
So, more news about Injustice 2. Another character just announced at the time of recording, it was just last night. The Atom is going to be in Injustice 2, and he does all the moves. He flies around, he shrinks, he hits things,
Basically does everything Blue Beetle does, except he shrinks too. Yeah.
pretty much. He looks just like he does in the, Legends of Tomorrow, so.
Hey, let's go Ray Palmer.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, apparently it's not
Yeah,
Ray
really.
Palmer for some
Of
unknown
course it is.
reason.
Thanks a lot, Injustice 2. Seriously, come on. Bring my actual favorite characters onto these things.
Well,
Thank you for Starfire. I will always thank you for Starfire.
They made him an Asian dude. They had to be inclusive.
I love it.
So let's talk about the logic there, right? Like, Ray Palmer's definitely a more popular character than whoever they're using, right?
Well, I mean, it's a fighting game, so it doesn't really matter who they say it is. It's still the Atom.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can just pretty much say the name because, there are, how many Sub-Zeros? Technically, 2 or 3.
I believe there are 2 Sub-Zeros.
Well, yeah, originally, but Cyber Sub-Zero.
Yeah, Cyber Sub-Zero, I think, wasn't he the older brother came back to life, or the younger one when they got captured by...
I don't remember the lore, to be
something.
honest, so I thought there was,
I don't
3
know.
for a while.
I played the
but
game a while ago.
because it might be 2 after all.
Well, I mean,
Someone correct me,
I
please.
just think that's a really easy way to piss off fans, you know? Like,
Yeah, I also think that's not really an apt comparison. I don't think anyone cares who Sub-Zero is.
yeah.
He shoots
Yeah,
ice!
come to think of it, for all the DC cold villains there are, why Sub-Zero?
Yeah, they already have Captain Cold. Who,
Captain Cold
I
is the
would've wanted to
best.
see Victor Freeze,
I think he's an
love
alt
Victor
skin for
Freeze.
Captain Cold.
Okay, whatever.
Yeah, they like their alternate skins.
They're not the same person, though.
Yeah. Okay, so I know you have Jack. Have you played any of the Arkham games?
I've seen gameplay of them.
Okay, so
I
first
must
of all,
save
play,
Nora.
Play all the Arkham games because all of them are awesome.
Yeah,
I'm still playing through
I know
Origins,
the
but I haven't
game
seen it.
where the Joker's actually dead and pretty much
that's awesome.
messing
Yeah,
with
so that's,
the.
Arkham
Oh,
Knight.
yeah.
Yeah, that
Basically,
one's good. I like that
You
game.
really have to follow through. So that's my favorite game in the trilogy, actually. But so part of the reason, just to go with Arkham Knight, the reason that Joker's in his head is because he was injected with Joker's blood in the last game, and Joker's still slowly taking over.
He has Jokeritis.
It's a really fucking cool game. Okay,
He's got a terrible case of laughter.
something like that. Is that your Pennyworth?
I don't know, Master Bruce. You tell me.
Okay, that is your bad English accent.
Speaking of
That's all.
Batman,
Everything I say is bad.
Speaking of Batman, we have another crossover coming up. Batman Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2.
Oh,
Did you even know there was a one?
I did.
He did.
Earlier
Oh,
today, I found
boy.
that out.
Oh, earlier today.
I was literally
Yes,
told this
because I
earlier,
said it.
so
The perks of coming up with a thumbnail
Right.
is I found all the comic art from the first one.
Yeah, so I had all the issues from the first one. It was pretty good. You see the Shredder, you see Ra's al Ghul, so the League of Assassins fight the Foot Clan, and then they team up to take over Gotham/New York. I forgot where they were, and then, the Turtles are like, we have to find a way to close this dimensional rift and blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, it's pretty cool.
Oh, God.
Don't
Wait,
you
aren't
just
the Turtles
love
in
how
Manhattan?
random comics can be?
I'm pretty sure. Wait, the Teenage Mutant
Well,
Ninja Turtles.
technically,
They're in
Gotham's
Manhattan,
in New
technically,
Jersey,
right?
so
Yeah.
just saying.
Manhattan.
So wait, what?
What?
Gotham's in Jersey?
Yeah. So if you
Ugh.
actually freeze frame Suicide Squad, there's a moment in there where it actually says the exact location of Gotham is Gotham, New Jersey.
Yeah,
So,
well.
I'll be damned.
So
I'm
then
guessing-
Metropolis, I'm guessing, is New York because they're right across from each other.
I was guessing. I would have guessed somewhere along the New Jersey border. So I guess New York's the. It could have been PA, I guess, but
Well,
I don't know
and
where
they're always
major PA
described
would
as
be, major metropolitan area, aside from Philly, but that's way far south.
Metropolis is always described as New York City during the day, and Gotham is New York City at night.
Well, I mean that's probably what the design's based off of.
They
that
are
makes sense to
exactly.
me.
And it makes sense if you think about it.
Yeah, so in this comic, we're gonna get to see Bane.
Cool.
Oh boy.
So I'm pretty excited for that because I like Bane. Who doesn't like Bane?
Yeah, honestly,
You can break my
considering,
back
probably
anytime.
The most iconic Bane moment in
No, I'm
all
kidding.
of
Bane, you
Batman
scared me.
lore, I like to think of it as Dark Knight Returns. Is literally takes place in a sewer. I could see something along those lines happening.
You mean Dark Knight Rises?
Did I say Returns?
You said Returns.
I always fucking do that. Yes, I meant Rises.
The thing is, that Bane is so different from the one in any other iteration, though.
Well, yeah, but
Yeah,
I mean,
like,
you
even
can
the
say that about
cartoons.
any character in the Nolan franchise, they're meant to be more realistic. That's what Batman would look like if Batman was actually out
Well,
patrolling.
I
the
don't think it's
streets.
exactly realistic that somebody would sound like this. Of course.
Well, the whole reason Tom Hardy
It
did
sounds
that accent
great.
was because he wanted to make it as non-denominational as possible. He wanted it.
But he's supposed to be South American.
Bane's
Is he?
Hispanic,
Yeah.
isn't he?
Bane is
Is he?
from a South American country, a fictional one.
Okay, well, again, I don't think they
Of
ever
course, the
really
place is fake.
specify his country of origin. They just make it
They do
very
not.
clear that he's from somewhere, and that's part of the great thing about Bane.
Nobody
He's
cared where I was
mysterious,
from until I was in this movie.
apparently.
Or you watch Death Battle and find out.
Okay, what else I got?
So, we've heard of Old Man Logan, famous
bum.
graphic novel. You just read it.
I finished it today.
You just read it.
I knew of it, and I just
I
kind of
read
just
it
read it.
literally the month after Logan came out.
Yeah, so I think the movie really made it get more popularity, and that's why they're doing now Old Man Hawkeye.
Is that actually what?
Yes.
That's what they said it's
Yes.
Okay,
yes,
so,
yes.
let's-
Take
let's
my
talk
money.
about Old Man Logan briefly, just because it is one of my favorite Marvel comics of all time. So basically, you have this grizzled, old fucking version of Logan, like 50 years post what you'd see in the normal Marvel comics continuity.
Fifty he has gray hair, kids.
age.
Yeah, well, so
No, he did
he
age.
actually has aged a lot for 50 years, considering he's a character that's not supposed to. Like, he's supposed to heal from all physical ailments.
I'm just saying, considering he was
Like,
born in
there's no
Canada in the
explanation for that in the comic, but
1800s.
They do explain that in the movie.
Yeah, adamantium poisoning.
Going on. So, a huge difference between the comics and the movie. Just really the only similarities are he's old and he's Wolverine.
I think kind of the atmosphere where it's like they're in the desert or something.
Yeah. So, the whole significance of Hawkeye, probably the most grizzled, three-dimensional version of Hawkeye I've ever seen in a Marvel comic.
Probably.
Agree with me there.
Yeah.
That's the first time I've ever seen like Hawkeye legit like
Like potentially,
go full beast mode.
Well, he was pretty.
probably the only time I've actually been interested in him as a character. Like Age of Ultron tries to flesh out Hawkeye as having a family, but it's kind of boring, right?
I'm
thought
just
it was
like,
cool.
wait a minute, how many wives did this guy go
Really
through?
Because it's like
Very
everyone's
personal.
hanging at Hawkeye's house. Hang
I
out.
don't know. I think they just needed a setting, and they wanted to give Hawkeye somewhat of.
Oh yeah.
I,
But
I
it
just
worked
loved
for the
how they
movie.
made him blind too. I'm like, great.
Right?
Give the
Yeah.
guy that's 80% deaf glaucoma and make him blind. All right. Let's screw him
yet,
over
give the
even
guy-
more.
Give the guy whose only ability is that he physically needs to shoot arrows. Physically something you need to see to be able to do. Completely gone.
Unless
He
you're
did-
Samurai Jack.
And in the comment, it literally explicitly says, yeah, just keep making noises. I'm like, again, dude, you're deaf. How does this work at
No, he's
all?
not deaf. He's blind.
He's blind, but
No,
it's implied in
he-
other comic iterations that he's slowly losing his hearing too.
No, he lost most of his hearing because his dad physically abused him all the time.
Okay, I
And
trust
stepdaddy
your-
number.
Where's that from?
It's in comic books and Origins.
Yeah. Well, they don't talk about it much in the Marvel
Okay, I've
movies,
never heard of
but,
that.
Again, few
I'm
iterations.
just saying,
you don't have to go too deep into that. So, Old Man Hawkeye, at least within the confines of Old Man Logan, Hawkeye is this grizzled old blind guy who is trying to get across to the far east of the United States, or what used to be the United States.
Yeah, it's kind of like Mad Max Hawkeye edition.
Well,
Yeah,
I
seriously.
don't like to think of it as Mad Max. 'Cause
It-
it's
you can ge-
The Spider-Man
1,000
car,
times
come
better.
on.
From the imagery I've seen for what's coming up, it definitely seems to be inspired by it because you see he has like a car that's all armored up and,
well, to be
and
fair,
junked out and
To be
stuff.
fair, Old Man Logan came out I think a decade before Mad Max. So.
You know how long Mad Max has been around, right?
Well, I mean Fury Road before it was.
I actually don't know how
Okay,
long Mad
but-
Max has been
the
around.
first two, I think,
a
came out
long
in,
time.
what,
The first one was like late 70s with Mel Gibson.
No way.
in the 70s.
Mel Gibson? Really?
Yeah.
I can look it up
Mel
right now.
Gibson.
If I have
I
a
hate Mel
signal.
Gibson.
Why do you hate Mel Gibson?
We'll come back to that.
Mel
some
Gibson's
other
a good actor.
No, he's not. But okay,
Sure
so,
he is.
Moving on.
So Hawkeye is in many ways Logan's sidekick within Old Man Logan. In many ways,
True.
He is the inciting force of the comic. In many ways, he is also the main character of the comic. While it doesn't bear his name.
Mad Max, 1979. Who's right? This guy.
Okay, late 70s.
That's what I said.
Looked it up just to prove yourself right, just to show me the fool.
How pretentious.
I am
oh
always
my
right.
God.
Don't you just love John Caglianone?
Yeah,
Everyone
this guy
does.
right here. Like, come on.
Okay, so I'd love to see. It's supposed to be a prequel to Old Man Logan.
Yeah, it leads in. I'm
Directly
assuming
into
up to or into the events of Old Man Logan. So
Yeah, I
we'll
mean,
get to
that'd be
see his
interesting,
story.
just to see how Old Man Hawkeye found out about what eventually.
And how he even survived. I mean, it's Hawkeye. Captain America,
But as far as
Daredevil, Punisher, none of them
Just-
survived, but this guy does.
I mean, yeah,
Well,
like
so
when I
many-
saw
yeah.
Daredevil and Punisher get mauled by velociraptors, I was just like,
Spoiler alert.
whoopsie.
Well, that's not really a spoiler, honestly.
I was just like,
most of the
wait a
characters
minute,
in there
that
are
happened
side
within
characters.
2 seconds, and I get
this-
no context of what in the world happened.
This question came up recently because I was talking about it with someone else. Was that actually Daredevil and Punisher who get mauled, or just people?
I think the
disguised
people
as
that took up the alter egos.
That's a good question. The answer I'm going to give is it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I
The
guess.
story's not about them. If they died, great. It would have more emotional.
I'm pretty
impact
sure it's not even
later.
canon.
If not, then
Well-
so what? It's just some random
Well, it
guy,
kind of
right?
isn't because for a while now, since the death of Wolverine, the Old Man Logan from that universe crossed over into the main one, and he's been there for a while now.
God, I can't follow Marvel at all.
It's-
Marvel, make this stuff like easier to handle and understand, please, and actually make good villains, please and thank you. That's literally all we're
They
asking.
definitely have some good villains, just not.
I mean,
so
yeah, but
much in
they're
the
just not
movies.
using the right ones that we want.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Well, I will say, as formulaic as the MCU has been, like some of their more recent entries, I think have actually had some of their best villains thus far. I don't know if either of you saw Spider-Man: Homecoming.
I still have not
No,
seen
we
that.
already went over this
Okay,
last time.
yeah, I thought we did. Vulture is still, I think, one of the most amazing, one of my personal favorite villains in the MCU. So,
Well, he just plays the same guy he did in Birdman, right?
I'll be honest. I actually keep forgetting Vulture is a thing in the Spider-Man universe.
that's.
I don't
the
think
thing. He's,
anyone
like
likes
one
him.
of Spider-Man's main nemesis, right? But
Is he?
Well, that's Green Goblin.
Yeah, absolutely. No,
I
Green
think-
Goblin actually has a much more recessive role in the comics than you'd think. At least in any of the versions of Spider-Man I've read, like Amazing.
What do you mean?
Spider-Man's
The whole thing with Gwen Stacy on the bridge. Green Goblin's always been an essential part.
Well,
I've never heard of a
but,
single person who says Vulture's my favorite villain. He's ridiculous.
I'm
It's like saying Doc Ock in Spider-Man 2 is amazing.
Why do so many people like Spider-Man 2 the best?
I
I've
honestly,
always wondered that. At least for
Yeah,
the
good
original
enough
trilogy, I
question
always
because
thought
I'm one of those
that was
people.
best, you know? Two's a distant second.
I mean, it's a really good movie to make YouTube poops out of. I don't know if you've seen any of them.
I have not. No.
There are many great ones. This is such a tangent from Old Man Hawkeye.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
Oh
well,
yeah,
let's
how
move
we
on.
get off track that bad?
So Old Man Hawkeye is probably going to be a prequel to Old Man Logan. We don't know.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
we
give me
said
the money.
that
Give me that. Give me that
It
comment.
is.
I want to see it.
Add to that, or,
I think we did it to death.
okay.
I want to know why this man had so many different wives. Apparently,
Hawkeye?
Oh yeah,
and like he
it's
said,
so
oh yeah, that's ex-wife number 3. I'm like,
yeah, and it's
what?
It's
not that
Spider-Man's
bizarre, I mean,
granddaughter.
No, it's Wait, yes, it's Spider-Man's
I don't-
granddaughter.
I don't
and-
even understand.
It's a
And then
really
she
fucking
turns
great
heel
film.
out of nowhere and goes like, "All right, now I'm gonna rule Kingpin's territory." I'm like,
Yeah, it's
Don't
Who
just-
are you?
Don't you just love Mark Millar?
you have
no.
to read it to believe it. Pretty
Seriously,
much.
like it's actually a fantastic. I don't read comics a lot, but it's my favorite one right now.
All right.
It's
so,
honestly one of my favorite Marvel comics of all time. So yeah, go on.
so next
Yeah.
week, all of the CW DC shows are coming back. Arrow, Flash, Legends tomorrow, Supergirl. I think
Can't
Supergirl.
wait.
Okay, so the one thing I want to say for it is, so Flash is the only one I watch with any sort of regularity. I've seen all of Legends of Tomorrow of Supergirl, but Flash is the only one I actually enjoy to some extent.
Supergirl's your favorite?
No, Flash is.
I was gonna say it goes Flash, Supergirl,
I've watched
Arrow,
all the way
Legends.
through, but I find it
I mean, no,
being
Legends, Arrow.
incredibly dull. Just the production value shit. Like, I'm not gonna get into why I don't like Supergirl. I do like the character.
There's a
I
certain
do
quality to
like that
CW
most
shows
of it.
that you come to expect.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
cheesy, but it's a good kind of cheesy. So I love The Flash. It's actually suspenseful. It actually has some dramatic elements that set it apart from the other CW shows. So the one thing I know about The Flash upcoming season, first of all, he's been trapped in the Speed Force for X amount of months.
And he's going to come back in the
Pretty interesting.
first
All seems
episode.
pretty
Right
interesting.
away.
Justin Spirit. Well, I mean, it's The Flash. You know, they gotta have The Flash. In it.
We need the Flash. Okay,
Yeah.
here.
I
Beyond
want
that-
future
beyond
Flash.
that.
He's cooler.
First main villain.
He's-
of the
he's
season
more
not to
emo.
be a speedster.
Okay, well, so who's it gonna be? We don't know. Who?
Exactly.
What is it going to be? Adam Crasher
Like,
again?
Defoe?
to this
Defoe?
date,
Willem Dafoe? I like Willem Dafoe.
No, it's like DeVoe. Like, what's his name? Not Mirror Master. Who was the one villain from the future from season 3?
Oh, jeez.
I have no idea.
Himself?
No, not
I'm kidding.
Savitar. Not
Well-
the main villain. There was a villain who came back from the future, like a criminal from the 35th century or something.
Oh, it was something Punisher.
The magic guy?
Yeah, that guy.
Oh, the magic guy.
No, he is not going to be the main villain.
No, he's not going to be the main villain, but he hinted at it. He said, I've been there through all
Oh.
of your enemies, Savitar, Reverse Flash, Defoe.
Yeah,
So-
the time criminal that the girl was going after when she was going after HR. I know what you mean now. I cannot think of his name now
so
at all.
point is, DeVoe, whoever he is, I know he's not a speedster. He's going to be the main villain of season 4.
Okay.
Well, this ought to be interesting.
I'm pretty anxious for it. Like, they've beaten the speedster angle to death. I want to see how they'll handle a villain who...
Yeah,
fights
I am
himself.
honestly so tired of the speed thing.
Well,
I was
Barry
gonna
says,
say, all
guys,
No way Barry's not the fastest.
guys, I'm not fast enough. I'm not even fast enough to go Mach 3.
So
Then how the hell did you rip through
I was
time?
I was saying to Jack before the podcast started, that's like the one recurring thing. That's the one thing you can always count on in the Flash.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm not
every
fast
problem can
enough.
be solved
Don't
by
worry,
Barry
Flash, you can
running
do it.
slightly faster.
Barry, run faster or face through a wall.
Or Iris says, Barry, I love you. Oh, okay, I'm fast enough now.
Or Wally has to do it himself, like he was setting up for more than half the season, and yet still had to do it himself. That was
Okay.
such great.
Okay,
writing.
you ready for an awkward segue?
No.
Whoa, wait. Is this changing the subject?
Yeah, why?
Well, there's one more thing about the shows. They
Okay.
announced
Oh, yeah,
that their
yeah.
4-episode crossover would be called Crisis on Earth X.
Oh.
So the title is,
Lovely.
of course, reference to Crisis on Infinite Earths, but this is just one. X, which is the Earth that is taken over by the Nazis.
Seriously?
Yeah,
Okay, that could be cool.
Oh, 9.
they really want to beat us over the head with the Nazi stuff, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, let's
Uh,
not.
I
Get
mean,
into-
did
this
we
is
see
supposed to be
Legends or
a
do we see
family-friendly
Legends?
show, minus all the swearing. So let's not get into politics for now, but,
Hashtag punch a Nazi.
hashtag Trump.
Punch the
Okay,
nut.
okay, is that all you got for DC TV? Or
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean,
we'll talk about the crossover when it actually
Well,
comes.
yeah.
I actually can't wait for
I
that.
feel like I'm gonna
I enjoyed the last crossover.
I think it'll be cool.
we'll
It's
get, we'll get
crossover.
into it. I don't want
To some
to get
extent.
too off topic, but
Well, that was on topic. So what's your
well,
deal?
honestly, I think the crossover was a little bit much. Like it,
With the-
it
with the
seemed kind of
aliens.
unnecessary. I don't think.
I mean, the Arrow one, yeah, it was
It
like
was,
low
the
overboard.
TV version of
Arrow
Avengers.
especially just was like you didn't need to watch.
Honestly, Arrow, stop overacting.
Actually, yeah. Okay, so that's my opinion on the crossover in a nutshell. We'll probably discuss that some more when the actual crossover airs. I feel like I probably cut out audio a little bit there, but whatever. You ready
We
for an
can just-
awkward segue?
Yeah, awkward segue time.
Speaking of
All right.
television,
Oh,
What?
right. So,
Awkward.
Are we going right into? Why are you doing that?
just to prove that these cameras are connected and we're all still in the same room.
Yes, we are. We do exist in the same universe. This
Yeah,
is
okay.
There's not. We're talking
Okay.
about Star Trek now.
We had to break the immersion.
You're the only one who's
All
seen
right.
both of them, so.
Yes, I am the one who will unite the worlds.
What?
Okay, so
So we have
Orville
two-
versus Star Trek Discovery.
Yes,
Oh,
we have
God.
2 new Star Trek type shows. Obviously, Discovery is the next installment, and the Orville is kind of like the parody, but also its own thing at the same time.
So the one thing I
So-
can say, because I've actually seen every episode of the Orville so far.
I watched the first 3 episodes.
I was gonna say they have
So,
more than one out already.
What?
Mhm.
I was gonna say they have more than one out already. I wasn't
Yeah,
aware
it's
of
on,
this.
like, its fourth one. So first of all, I'd recommend it because
Yeah.
I was skeptical at first too.
I
so
saw the
first of all,
trailer.
it is a Seth MacFarlane show. Seth MacFarlane is the main character, live action role.
Oh, he's good in it.
He's great in
Definitely
it. Like, you wouldn't take him seriously as an actor if you haven't seen anything else he's been in. But
I mean, how he's the whole cast of Family Guy, pretty much.
well, I mean, he's had a few live action roles.
I mean, yeah,
A Million
obviously.
Ways to Die in the West, I think he portrayed the character pretty
Well,
well.
funnily enough, there's a scene where they're on the holodeck and they're in the West,
Yeah.
and I was like, "This is familiar."
Okay. Yeah, Orville. While it is a comedy, while it does have some very funny moments, it is as much a drama as like a real Star Trek. You know.
Yeah, I found that surprising. There's
Right, you
actual
would not expect that,
good
but,
plots.
They have some very interesting plot lines, like from very interesting perspectives that I don't think they could do outside of a
Like,
sci-fi universe.
Did you see episode 3?
I saw 2 and 3. I mean, I think you sort of need to see 2 to understand the implications of 3. But yeah, you're talking about the whole baby thing, right?
Yeah, they kind of like come at this whole, I don't know what you want to call it, transgender topic, but in a different way.
Well, yeah,
It's not preachy,
so it's
despite
not
what you
really
may
a
think.
transgender thing, even. It's more of a societal expectation thing. I mean, they talk about circumcision, you know, which.
Yeah, they basically, it's a whole thing
So,
about if
so
a
the
baby
thing
is
is,
born a certain way,
Yeah, so on
and
this
society
planet that
wouldn't
this
accept it,
one
do you have to
crew
change
member
it?
So they're on this one planet, right? And this crew member from this one planet, every person from this planet.
it's an all-male species.
Exactly. Single gender
lovely.
species. A woman is born maybe once every.
75 years.
Well, it can be every. Well, I guess
That's what they said.
I was
They
going
never
to
said
say
like that,
this
how
species
old
has
the farm is,
Ganondorf
right?
disease, except it's
No.
mainly males.
Yeah, basically, it's the inverse of the Gerudo. But yeah. So basically, anytime a woman is born in this society, they have a procedure that's basically the equivalent of a circumcision on Earth. right?
Well, they get a sex change. They become male.
That's basically
I was
what
going
it
to
is.
say
So there is elements of it being a transgender thing, but so they actually treat it really respectfully. It's not preachy. If you're not like too keen on the whole,
Yeah, it's not
sexual
actually about
implications.
transgender. It's more about just,
It's really not. It's about what society expects of
Yeah.
its youth, what society expects of its next generation, and Seth MacFarlane, I think, carried that out in a very interesting, very meaningful way. I like the Orville a lot. What do you think about Star Trek?
one thing real quick. Also, the woman who plays his ex-wife on the show, I recognize her from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. She played Mockingbird, which is basically Marvel's Black
Oh,
Canary.
yeah, Barb. Or Bubby.
Yeah. Her.
Yeah, her real name's Barbara, but I keep forgetting that.
I don't know what her actual identity
Okay,
is.
I can tell you,
It's
I
Barbara
watched, like,
something,
5
I don't
episodes
freaking
of
know.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and
They say it in
that, but,
they say it in the show, but yeah, she was the greatest interpretation of Mockingbird I've
Bobby
seen.
something. Well, she's like the only interpretation.
Let me have
do you
this.
even know Mockingbird in the comics?
No.
Yeah, I don't either. I don't think.
What do you expect from me? Let
So
me have my moments.
Star Trek Discovery. It's kind of stiff. The
So
first
that's what I've
episode
heard.
is really stiff. I think it definitely picks up in the second one,
Okay.
but it has some issues. So in the Orville, like other Star Trek series, we get introduced to the whole crew, right? We get to know them. Star Trek Discovery,
just sort of lacks that, right?
it's just the one
so
main character
okay.
and her captain, and then like this other alien guy who senses death when it's coming.
So see, that's the thing with any television show.
We have to
it's
talk
a
about the
story
Klingons.
about characters. It's not a story about one character. With any television show. So, like, my worry is, especially with Seth MacFarlane, that he'd be the star, that he'd be the center of the attention. Like, every crew member on the Orville feels important to me. Everyone, like, even Seth MacFarlane seems like he's taking a backseat to some of the other characters.
Even that pile of Jello.
Yeah, Norm Macdonald's amazing in
Yeah.
the Orville.
Oh, sorry, you okay, man? Oh yeah, it's alright. Don't worry about it.
I really like Norm Macdonald. Like, have you ever seen Mike Tyson Mysteries?
Mm-mm.
He plays a talk.
Oh my god, I forgot
Oh,
that
wow.
exists.
Yeah, great.
I've seen him on SNL in the old days.
Oh, like that was the best era for SNL. Like the early '90s, like back when Mike.
Like when he
Myers
did
came
Celebrity
on, he was
Jeopardy,
still on.
Celebrity Jeopardy as Burt Reynolds.
Oh, he was great, and Daryl Hammond as
Got me Terry Ferguson.
Daryl Hammond as Sean Connery.
Oh yeah.
Sean Connery.
That's the sound your mother made last night, Trebek.
Okay.
It's like the most famous line. But yeah, so Discovery. Let's talk about the Klingons. So the Klingons definitely look way different. They look more like the J.J. Abrams Klingons. It's pretty weird.
I still don't know what
Well,
that
fair
is.
enough. They're trying to appeal to a larger audience.
Well, that's another thing about the show.
Discovery are probably more familiar with the J.J. Abrams.
Yeah, it's very Abrams-esque with like the camera angles. Like in the first episode,
A lot of lens flares.
there's not exactly. They come in on two people talking, and the camera just comes from up above and is like at this weird,
So they're
awkward
trying
Dutch
to be
angle.
artistic with it, but sort of.
It just comes across as pretentious.
Okay, fair enough.
And a minor detail: all of their laser blasts and stuff are blue instead of red or orange, which they've always been in the past. So I don't know what's up with that.
Okay. Well, again, it might just be a stylistic change, you know.
Yeah, but the Klingons, yeah, they all look different, and the whole time they're on screen, they're talking Klingon, so you have to just read like pages of subtitles, and it's annoying.
Okay.
Like in most movies, if you were gonna have a
That's how
different
I watch
language,
anime.
if you're gonna have a
Well,
different language
it's
for an extended period of time, they would, put it into English and just start out
Not
as alien.
necessarily. So my favorite war movie of all time, surprisingly enough, is Quentin Tarantino's *Inglourious Bastards*.
Okay.
The majority of that movie is in foreign languages, either German, French, or Italian. So
Yeah, that was
a
fun.
lot of subtitles, but that does not take away from it at all. Like part of
Well, that
the
could also
reason it's
be
so enticing is
to be
because they're all
historic.
speaking in their native tongues.
Yeah, but in here, it's just it's fiction, it's fake, so you don't need to do that.
Fair
And
enough.
what they're saying isn't really that interesting, so you kind of just fall asleep and not even remember what they're talking about. But yeah, so the basically, who's to be the main character? This woman, she screws up a lot, so she's not really that likable from the start. At least I don't like her.
So do you
Uh,
think it'll last past season 1, or?
Well, I think it all depends on how well, at least it does in
Picks
the
up.
CBS Access thing.
Okay.
What's it called? Yeah, that is the name of it, right?
What, the CBS instant streaming service?
Yeah,
Like, there's literally, in my opinion, nothing worth watching on CBS. So I couldn't.
not really. And what's funny is that's only available like that in the United States. Everywhere else, it's on Netflix except for like Canada.
What, CBS or Star Trek?
Discovery, it's on Netflix everywhere
Why?
else.
Already?
Yeah, it's right away.
So, like, as an original series, or?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay, that's one funny thing I want to compare. The intro to Star Trek Discovery is very much like, like a Netflix show, like the Marvel things, where it's kind of just like a
Sure.
weird stylistic credits thing. Not like a Star Trek intro at all. Not inspiring. The Orville intro is way more inspiring and has an anthem.
Yeah.
I was gonna say when I saw the Orville trailer for the first time ever, I was like, "This is such a huge ripoff. It's not even
Well,
funny."
That was
it
intentional.
definitely
But now I'm,
draws
like, understanding where you're
inspiration
coming from.
Star Trek and other associated sci-fi shows from that era.
Yeah, but I was just like,
it
really?
It definitely has its own take of things. I really think you should watch it before you judge it. Cause
I mean, I'm
it's-
always skeptic when it comes
well,
to stuff like.
and I don't blame you for that because I was skeptical going into it. But Seth MacFarlane does really well with it.
I mean, I don't doubt Seth MacFarlane's work ever.
No, he's an incredibly talented writer, comedian, actor, yada yada yada.
I'm
but,
amazed he can actually sing.
When I watched
yeah,
the trailers,
surprisingly, he's actually a pretty talented jazz singer.
when I watched the trailers, I knew right away that I was gonna like the Orville and Discovery, not so much that it was kind of So,
Sure.
judge a movie by its trailer, because the trailer's supposed to be the
It's
best,
supposed to
the
be an
best of what
accurate
they have to offer.
representation, But in my opinion, it rarely is.
I think it is usually because they're supposed to put, like these are the best scenes. Come see our movie. So if they can't do better than the trailer, then
It's not worth it.
yeah. All right. So
It's pretty good.
finally, our final topic is about a finale.
A finale.
A finale.
Really, a finale.
Rick and Morty.
Oh
that?
boy!
Wubba lubba dub dub.
I'm an outsider here. I don't watch the show. I assume they do.
What a season!
Okay, so first things first. John should watch Rick and Morty, right?
Do it, motherfucker! Pull the trigger!
But when the president was
So,
telling Rick and Morty all that
First
stuff.
thing I'm gonna say, and you might disagree with me on this, I think it's the weakest episode of the season.
Oh yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
I think it's anticlimactic, just not what I'd want to see from a finale episode.
I was. I was just like, okay.
Well,
Where is
it
this
left
going
me
at
wanting
all?
More, but not in the same way the first two season finales. did.
I'm
You know,
just-
it left me wanting more in the sense that I was kind of pissed off at Dan Harmon for ending it that way.
Yeah, I was like, compared to the first season's finale, I was just like, season's 1 finale was way better than this.
I don't know. I just, especially with the whole Beth clone thing, there should be more build up for that, right?
I wanted that, like, I wanted that to be switched with Beth going to Fruity Land. I wanted that to be the season finale because you could
Fruity
actually
Land.
like just make that a crazy cliffhanger.
So John has no idea what we're talking about.
It's-
Yeah,
it's
it
starting
goes
to
like, what
sound
the
like
hell's
Adventure
Fruity
Time.
Land? Why are you
So
saying making up words?
So Fruity Land, I will say, is probably the most fucked up episode of the series.
It's
from a show that's
Picture Candyland on drugs.
from a show that's incredibly fucked up at points. Like that's saying something, you know. So yeah, that's why you don't want to start with season 3. But
I saw a cryptic message on Twitter that said that the show will be gone for a while, and they didn't really announce when it'd be coming back.
yeah, that's basically it.
That's all. That's
what
what they
they
always
did
do. I'm
last
pretty
season,
sure.
too.
Yeah.
Like it was a year and a half between 2 and 3.
And then I saw
So the
something
third
right
season
after
So
it.
3 years till season 4, kids. Strap those seatbelts in.
I'm guessing it won't be as long. Like I'm guessing it's not. I'm
It's gonna be a
guessing at
5-episode
most
miniseries at this
but,
point.
I saw something right
I
after
think
it that
they
said
do have some ideas for stories and stuff that they didn't add on upon because it was supposed to be a 14-episode season originally.
So I saw a thing that said, fan theories about when the next season will come. It's like, why do you need theories
Yeah,
about it? It just
Like,
it's just got off
so
the air.
I really don't think they hinted at it. If they did, I missed something.
I'm watching you. I'm low key watching you.
This has been utterly nonsense.
Mostly nonsense.
Yeah, it pretty much just is nonsense at this point.